Well, Haney, we're halfway through the weekend. We've done night one of Wrestlemania. Ready for night two?
Yep, all ready to go.
Yeah, we've got obviously a lot to cover and stuff like that. But if you could summarise night one in one word, what would it be?
Is
Is that even one word?
No, I'm trying to do a Tommy Cooper there. What was it called? It was a mixed bag, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We'll talk all about that, mate. We'll spend about 20 minutes, half an hour covering it and stuff like that. But I've got to be honest, I'm looking forward to a lot more tonight too because there's some incredible matches on this one.
Yep, most definitely. There's some fun. I mean, there was some fun matches last night, but I think this is the main night, isn't it? So I'm sure some of the names from tonight last night. I'll be involved in tonight as well somehow. So that'll be very interesting.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we're going to be looking back at night one and then we're going to look ahead to night two and stuff like that. Enough rambling on. Let's get into the intro. Boom. Haney, how are we on this Sunday afternoon?
I'm good, thanks. It's sun shining, so I'm miserable.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say when the weather's nice in Scotland that you're just a miserable git anyway?
Yeah, true. Oh well. Well, that's what defeats that then.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, anything exciting this morning, or is it just usual chill Sunday?
Just usual chill Sunday, Just what was it? Out in the sun. It's probably too long. I'm feeling it.
I'm a ginger, so I can't even go out in the sun.
I never noticed.
You never noticed? Come on, where do you think the reflection is?
I'm all joking. I'm not far off. I'm Scottish, So what was it? What is transparent is each other, So, what was it called? Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, so we've got obviously a lot to cover today, mate. So let's obviously look back at night one and stuff like that. I mean, for me, it's a mixed bag. Do you know what I mean? There's some good matches, some great ones, and then there was a few where you're like, not too fun. What do you reckon?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm confident we'll probably think the same thing about the same matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just load these up so I can find out what happens. I cannot remember off the top of my head what's what. So yeah, I will be obviously people listening. There will be some spoilers from that one. If you haven't watched it, skip to the first half an hour and stuff like that. So Jey Uso defeated Gunther by submission. The New Day defeated Xavier. The New Day, Kofi and Xavier defeated the War Raiders. Jade Cargill defeated Naomi. Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight. El Grande El Americano defeated Rey Fenix. Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair. And Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns, CM Punk with Paul Heyman by pinfall. Any good matches for you which stood out?
Probably the main event was good, really good. But we'll get to that. What was it? Gunther match wasn't. I didn't enjoy the first match.
No, I didn't.
What was it called? Didn't really enjoy the tag match. But again, I don't really like Kofi. What was it? What was the next match after that? Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
Jade Cargill and Naomi.
Jade Cargill, Naomi. That was all right. Again, it wasn't nothing special, but it was a good way to keep it going, And then obviously Jacob and what was it? LA Knight was a decent match. It was really good. Wouldn't say it stole the show like we thought, but what was it? It was really cool. We had a really cool mask at the beginning as well. Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
What was it? Tiffy and Charlotte was really good, and obviously the main event was what it was. It was stellar a bit, wasn't it? It was really good. It was up there with what was it? A top-notch match, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I mean, I've got a couple of talking points I want to discuss. that crowd seemed really, really dead. I've got to be honest.
See, the problem with like the big wrestling, like the problem with like wrestling in general with these big events is it's all the posers that are at the front. You know, they don't go to all the shows. All the fans are up the top in the cheap seats because that's what they can afford. You know, what was it? It's all the posers and the celebrities and the, you know, let's go to a what's the big what was it, his social event of the month? Oh, it's WrestleMania, you know. That's what's in the front rows. Yeah, there is real genuine fans there, you know, and they do get excited, but that's where the sound comes from, you know. If you've got a really ruckus crowd at the back, what was it, and you've got a really dead crowd at the front, it, you know, the acoustics don't work either with these open stadiums, you know. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't there. The crowd, you know, get your finger out for the night.
No, exactly. And the thing is, I think was it like 61,000? I think were there.
Yep, that's what they said when they brought Michael. What was it? Shawn Michaels out.
Yeah, I mean, for a WrestleMania, I mean, it's 61,000 fans. We're not saying that, but it's for some reason it just doesn't feel great. Do you know what I mean? Because we know WrestleMania pushes what 80,000.
Yeah, but that's just down to the city and the arena, that other stadia that's available to them, isn't it? Really, you know, and that's Vegas wanted that. So yeah, it's what was I mean, the stage, the setup was really cool. I liked it. I liked the booths and all that. I wonder how, as I said about the chat, I wonder how much it cost for a ticket to be on that stage booth. You know,
That's the
that
first
was,
time they've ever done that as well, isn't it?
yeah, that was really cool. You know, and they'll have like seats in that there as well. You know, but you're quite away, probably quite a distance away from the ring. But obviously, these people have got money, so there's probably nice televisions and things like that there as well for them to see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd be cool to sit in one of these seats, but you're there, but you're not there, you know, because you're so far away from the ring, you know. So again, it's more of a VIP thing, isn't it? It's never going to be affordable or available to any of us.
No, absolutely. So I'm just looking through now what the biggest talking points are from night one. We have to talk about WWE purchasing AAA. I didn't see that coming.
Well, there's been stuff online for months, but there's always stuff like that, and it doesn't seem real or legit, you know. So I remember, what was it, reading about it a couple of months ago, but I just dismissed it as just one of these stupid sort of wrestling. And it could have just been somebody just bullshitting, and what was it called? And it's Escape Refreshing. But they've been bringing in a lot of sort of luchadors, but as of late, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah. So, for what I understand, they obviously AAA, so they're still running AAA as this ends.
Yes. So, and it's more tied in with the NXT brand than the main brand. So, but I'm guessing you're going to see people like, what was it, Penta, Phoenix, Rey Mysterio, Andrade, you know, what was it, Dragon Lee, them guys probably more so, what was it, than say a Cody Rhodes or a Roman Reigns. I mean, I'm sure they will appear at some point, but you know, I think it's going to be, what was it, more of the NXT crowd that sort of get involved with that relationship.
Yeah, I know they've obviously announced, like I said, Worlds Collide, so I'm really excited and stuff like that. See
Well,
what
there's I think there's a Worlds Collide, and I think there's a AAA event coming up soon as well, where there's, again, it's the news just broke, but all of a sudden everybody knows everything. Speculation that they'll be involved there as well, so it'll be good to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely also see and stuff like that. Now, I want to talk obviously about Charlotte Flair and Tiffany match because that's got a lot of stick. People's like accusing Charlotte of sandbagging and stuff like that.
Yeah, what you've got, it's difficult. It's difficult to judge a match. You know, what was it? And there's I mean, there might be some truth in that, but you've also got to look at it from a perspective as well. Is Tiffy's only been in the business for three years. She's still quite green. You know, how much is that? How much is what was that sort of like if Charlotte did that with a Bailey or a what was it, a Rhea Ripley or whatever, it wouldn't have been as much a big deal, because they were big tough wrestlers, I think Nia Jax, me personally, gets a lot of stick, but as well in that sort of thing. But people forget that she's a bigger lady and a stronger one at that. So sometimes it can be on both sides. Yeah, it's hard to judge. If she has, then I'll need to go back and watch it again. In the moment, I'm not looking at stuff like that unless it's blatantly obvious. I mean, there was some sort of stuff shots going on, but in that, but that happens sometimes as well, just legitimately.
Yeah, exactly, and stuff like that. Rey Fenix obviously stepped in for Rey Mysterio. We talked about that obviously on the show. I do kind of feel sorry for Rey Fenix, sorry, do you know what I mean? Because he just got thrown at the last minute and stuff like that, but it was still a good match.
Yes, yeah, I mean, it's a loss, but obviously they cheated. What was it called? It was still a good match until they sort of. I don't buy the whole gimmick stuff. I mean, how much force is that little plate of metal going to have? you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of this obviously El Grande thing, but I know obviously people are and stuff. But like I said, remains to be seen and stuff like that. Obviously, Jade Cargill got one, which we spoke about. Now we have to talk about, and this is Paul Heyman's double turn. I called this, by the way, and stuff like that. So I was proper popping when I saw this.
It was pretty obvious. I mean, I think we called it weeks ago.
Yeah.
What was it called? It was one of these things that was so obvious that what was it? We all seen it coming. It's quite funny them try to sort of pretend that nobody's seen it coming when I think most people did.
Yeah, I know a lot of people's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But I'm like, you definitely did. You know what I mean? And a lot of people called it, and Twitter was going absolutely bad because obviously we were all watching it live and stuff. We were on the chat and stuff, and I literally going on Twitter and everyone's like, oh my god, this is happening. It's like we called this. I'm like, there you go. That's wrestling for you.
Yeah, what was it? Sometimes we're too smart for our own good.
Yes, we are. Yes, we definitely are, mate. So. Yeah, we're not going to spend too much on it because I don't obviously want to spoil it for people who's obviously not watching it, mate. So let's get straight into night 2. Are you ready to do this?
Yep.
Here we go.
The main event.
Boom. Night 2, WrestleMania. 7 more matches obviously on the card and stuff like that. So again, we're going to run through each match. Now, these are in no particular order. This is how obviously I've grabbed them off the internet. So we'll start off obviously with Randy's Open Challenge. I'm just reading here now from WrestleLink, see what they're thinking. And 3 names which are mentioned is Jeff Cobb, Aleister Black, Sami Zayn. They're the 3 which is going around.
I mean, you could do the whole Sammy coming in to revenge his friend bollocks, even though they just turn heel on each other. But it is wrestling. Jeff Cobb's, yeah, I can't see it because I think Randy has to go away with a winner from this match. Doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, usually when they do storylines like this, it's depending on what side the person's on. He's in the babyface side, so the babyface usually comes out on top. Aleister Black's already got his debut date. It's the 24th. So I still think it might be Nick Aldis. I mean, nothing wrong with it being Cobbs, but I don't understand. I don't understand it. If it was that, I would be disappointed. I wouldn't, because it wouldn't make any sense to me.
I mean, if we're talking about storylines, did you mention that? And Tiffany agrees with you, saying that Nick Aldis is the mystery opponent. You've got the storyline there, so it does make perfect sense. Plus, Nick's done some incredible stuff, and I do feel like he deserves, that moment.
Definitely. Give the miserable bastard his match.
What are you in a match, Annie? But how do you see this? I think this is one of those matches, though, for me, is whichever way it goes, I feel like Orton's going to pick up the victory, whoever it is.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think they would do a Cobbs or a. I mean, you could get away with it with Sammy, but Cobbs not so much. You need Cobbs to come in and be an absolute beast. I mean, Rusev's another name there, and Rusev and Orton have got a history there, so it could possibly be that. Sheamus is. I don't know what Sheamus is doing. Try to think of all the names that are sort of kicking about. You know, maybe it's Chelsea. Maybe Chelsea's pissed off and she's decided that she wants to come in and have a match. You know, so she picks Orton.
That'd be interesting. I mean, but I don't see that happening.
I was being funny, but yeah, that would be funny. It would be interesting, and it was a good giggle. You know.
Sorry, I'm trying to be professional here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so if you had to be a betting man, who would you say it would be?
Valdez.
You say Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's Nick as well. Like I said, the storyline and stuff, it just makes more perfect sense and stuff like that. So that's match number 1. Match number 2 is, of course, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and a mystery opponent. We did know it was going to be Bayley, but she got attacked in night 1, which obviously sparked a lot of people kicking off on the internet. But what do you think?
Well, what was it? Where's Lyra from?
I have no idea, mate, to be honest with you.
Look it up.
Let's have a look. Oh, Irish, okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with this now.
Finn Balor! No. Yeah, I think that'll be Becky.
Yeah, it would be interesting, actually. I just completely forgot where she actually was from, yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, I mean, how do we see this match going? And 2, after what happened obviously in night 1, what does this leave Becky doing?
Well, they're going to need a female in this new Rock faction, so why not Becky and Lyra?
Do you think both of them's going to turn heel?
Well, why not? You know, I mean, they've already done that storyline recently where we've got a mystery attacker, you know. What was it? And more often than not, it results in the other person turning heel as well, you know. I mean, other names you could sort of throw about there. What was it? You could have Alexa Bliss. You could have Nikki Cross. You know, you could have somebody taking out Lyra tonight, and then it ends up being somebody else, and it's Alexa and Nikki. What was it called? It's probably going to be Becky. She's there. You know, she was this video over there laughing and joking with Seth after the heel turn. So, what was it called? Yeah.
It'd definitely be interesting stuff like that. Tiffany says, I hope Becky isn't Becky's attacker. I mean, we've already seen that, do you know what I mean? Like with the Jade Cargill thing, but I don't know. This is one of these where it's like people want it to be Becky, some don't. I want it to be Alexa Bliss personally, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Alexa's got that rivalry to attack Bayley, but Becky has, you know. So it'll be interesting to see. Or maybe it's Charlotte. Maybe it was Charlotte, and Charlotte decided she wanted to go with a championship because she knew Triple H had told her that she wasn't going to win. So she thought, I'll sort myself out for tomorrow night, just in case.
Tiffany says, I just want Bliss and Nikki. I mean, I'm not against that.
Yes.
And I remember reading that obviously the White Six is not actually on the WrestleMania card anyway, as we can obviously see. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, what was it? And Tiffany, let's be honest. We don't want to know what you want to do in the bedroom with Alexa and Nikki. So we're talking wrestling here.
Yes, be professional. Yes, go on now.
Be professional, Tiffany, with your comments.
Dear. So, twin obviously on this match. Any 1, who's going to win it? And 2, who do you think it's going to be? Do you still think it's going to be Becky?
Yeah, I'll go with Becky. It's a bit shit for Bayley, but I'll go with Becky.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, everyone's like saying that, the WWE's done her dirty, but apparently she was aware of it for weeks anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing with Sasha Banks or Mercedes Malone. What was it? putting the emoji sign with the call sign and the money and the ching ching. You know, there's a little thing called contract tapping. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting, all right.
No, nobody wants to see Pamela Martinez turn up in what was it, AEW. God, that would be the definitely win a career.
And I just want to point that out, by the way, that Monet cannot obviously show up at WrestleMania because she's going to be at Rev Pro today in Doncaster.
Yeah, I don't think she would be invited anyway. She's shite.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say to that.
Do you or do you disagree? Do you not disagree or do you agree?
I think that she's overhyped.
She is shite.
Okay, all right, okay. So according to Wrestle Inc., 77% people think that Liv and Raquel's going to retain anyway.
I don't think so. I think we're coming to the end of the Judgment Day.
Do you reckon?
Yes, and that whole thing. And what was it called? What was it? Yeah, I think what was it? And maybe with Finn in that as well, because I think. Well, we'll get to the Finn. We'll get to the Intercontinental match, you know, which I think they're covering that, you know, and that'll cause it to implode even more. But we'll get there.
No, absolutely. This next match, I'm curious. I feel like this is going to be one which is going to surprise people. AJ Styles and Logan Paul. In it, as much as we hate Logan Paul and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? The guy's great in the ring. He's taking it really seriously and stuff like that. And he has proven a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, he's such a wanker, isn't he? So good at what he does. It's just so annoying.
Is he there?
Yeah, he is.
But you got to admit, though, he does really prove a lot of people wrong, despite his personality-wise.
Yeah, he does. You know, I mean, he's more talented than his brother. Yeah, it's just annoying. Did you see the video? His mum, they've got the chair thing.
Yeah.
What was it? Where he hit the machine, like the boxing, but it's like a dummy. It's done up like Logan Paul. There's a video of his mum doing it, whacking him with the chair.
I saw the one where this kid absolute whacks it and gets like 100. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Now, I think we're going to see some of another thing you hate in is flippy dippy wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be that, isn't it? And there's probably going to be some weird cameo of one of his buddies, and yeah.
Do you reckon?
Of course, he's going to have something there, somebody there, you know.
What, like KSI?
KSI, you know.
I don't see it, mate. I'll be honest with you.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I think somebody will turn up and be with him. He's always got somebody there to help him out, you know. I mean, I kind of like Prime. It's like dishwater Prime. I don't know how anybody likes it.
Yeah, I've tried it once. I didn't get the whole hype about it, to be honest.
Yep. Good old Lucozade. That's what you need.
No.
What?
Lucasade's all right. I'm not saying it's the massive fan of it, but it's not the best.
Lucasade's the cure for everything.
Is he though?
Yeah.
I thought it was Iron Brew.
Lucozade. Well, okay, Iron Brew's like you know.
A close second.
No, it's different. The Iron Brew's a different class. You know, it's a different class of drink. You know, for what it is. You know.
Does that depend where you are, though?
Yeah, it depends where you are. You know. What was it called? I mean, Lucasade's like it's like as a kid you got Lucozade if you had you had a sore head or you had a cold or you had a sore tummy or Lucozade was just there. It was just a staple in your life. It was just awesome, you know.
No, interesting.
I mean, if you go back through history, it even like helped cure like the Spanish flu. You know, it was just
It's just a really gassy drink, though. Let's be honest. It is, though. Let's be honest, mate.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, shall we say? It's like Marmite.
You either love it or you hate it.
You love it or you hate it. Yeah.
Exactly. I just want to put emphasis on this comment. What Tiffany says, I hope AJ asks someone to come out and help him if those guys come in. I want to put the emphasis on who do you think that could be?
Well, it's not going to be the Dumb Brothers anymore because they've been released. You know.
Yep.
I mean, who's AJ? What about Abyss? You know, Abyss would be a good one to come down. He's backstage anyway. Put on the costume.
Joseph Park. Is it Joseph? I forgot his actual name now.
Yeah, Joseph Park. You know. You know. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you think of the guys who get history with. Finn's got a match. Shinsuke Nakamura's not involved, so he's sort of got respect for AJ. Try to think who else. What about Tiffany? Who does she think?
Tiffany, who do you think? Someone in the comments has put Cena or Cody. We're not even at that match yet.
Yeah. Cena.
I think that's one of the most one-sided matches I've seen. Do you know this actual result?
Yeah.
As we're obviously waiting, Tiffany will obviously move along and stuff like that. So
maybe a bit Eva Marie.
Oh my God! If that's Eva Marie, I said I would do a whole show with no shirt on. That's how confident that person's not going to show up. You know how to scam me, don't you, Annie?
Yeah.
Right. As Tiffany's obviously waiting for a comment, we'll move along, mate, and stuff like that. So, fatal four-way for the IC title: Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta, which is interesting. I don't really have anyone in mind. I just hope so. I think she's referring to the who's come out and help him. But yeah, fatal four-way next to and stuff like that. And a lot of people are tipping Dominic Mysterio, which I'm a bit surprised with.
Yeah, I'm tipping Dom as well.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate?
Just to have that rivalry with Finn, because obviously it's bubbling over, so it's time for them to sort of part ways. Because you've got the benefit of this match where Braun and Penta don't need to be pinned. You know, what was it called? So I'm thinking Dom steals the win and pins Finn.
Like a double turn type thing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not against that idea, to be honest with you.
I just think Dom's going to walk away with this, particularly considering like the relationships that's just been announced and things like that. You know, what was it called? That'd be interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, somebody keeps coming in the comments about the main event, which we'll obviously get to, you know, stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, the Judgment Day thing is becoming really a bit stale and stuff like that. So do we see this imploding?
Yeah, it's not needed anymore. You know, what was it called? It was. I mean, Rhea's doing her own thing. You know, what's the transgender Undertaker doing? The bisexual Undertaker doing?
It's in the next match we're going to be discussing.
Oh God, I'll not be watching that. I'll go for a pee then.
It's against Drew.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's hopefully Drew will kick his in.
I can't believe you said bisexual. Do you know what I mean? Any with all these comments, you're going to get this show kicked.
That's what he's referred to online.
I know.
The bisexual Undertaker. It's all good. It's all good fun, and he said, listen, he's got good fun about it as well. And what was it called? It's what was it? I don't mean it in an offensive way, you know. But was it? I actually like Damien Priest. You know, I'm just being silly.
It's just been a tit, basically.
Yeah.
Which you are, aren't you? Let's be honest, Eddie. You've been a tit.
Yeah, probably. But a big pair of tits, yes.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Speaking of that matches, Undertaker versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I do apologise, ain't it?
Yeah, I think Drew has to win this one because I don't think Damien needs a win.
No, I don't think it does either.
What was it called? And he's had such a great year. I mean, he's obviously had the world title. He had the match with Drew at Clash of the Castle and things like that, which was really good. Again, wanted Drew to win there, but the outcome of that was really cool. It was like awesome pro wrestling where Punk came out and cost him and things like that. So
You were actually there as well, weren't you?
yes, it was good fun. I love that. I love that about pro wrestling. They can shock you and change you. But yeah, I think Drew will win this one.
I do be honest. I'm going to put this out here now. I do think this is going to be the match of the night.
Do you think they're just going to beat the absolute shit out of each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main event's going to obviously be up there, but I feel like this is going to be the actual show stealer.
Yeah, well, I've got my conspiracy for the main event as well. I'll give you my main thing, but my conspiracy, because obviously I gave you a conspiracy for last night as well. But yes.
Which is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see, how that obviously plays out.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see where you're going with this with Drew. It's just two big guys just slapping their meat.
Yeah, we've said that many times, ain't it, and stuff like that. And what more can we say?
Yeah, exactly.
So
this is the type of wrestling that I like. Just two guys knocking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I think that's just Scottish wrestling, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's probably why I didn't like the Jay and Gunther match, because Gunther's a hitter, and Jay's more of that sort of fluffy, sort of flippy dippy, wanky super kick stuff, What was it called? But yeah, it is what it is. Did you see him? Did you see him in the post match conference thing? He was absolutely leathered. He was out his face.
He's just won the title. Of course, he's going to be absolutely spanned.
Oh my god! Like, yeah, like put him on the first match. Like, by the way, just keep yourself sober enough to do a press conference in 4 hours.
Yeah, it didn't obviously work then, did it, mate? We're absolutely plastered.
He was absolutely plastered. It was like yeep, yeep, yeah, man, yeep, 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 yeep. It was so funny,
I didn't actually watch much of the press conference because I fell asleep. So, it definitely remains to be seen, mate.
I wanted Jimmy to whack him one after he won it, just to set up a feud. I thought that would have been really cool, but they didn't go there. They kept it clean. They kept it family orientated.
No, as we're obviously talking about that, let's obviously head back because we're way ahead of time and stuff like that. Where does this leave Gunther now? Because, do you know what I mean? We know how good he is. He brought prestige back to the IC title. He's just lost the title against Jay. Where does that leave Gunther now?
Being drafted, I think, probably over to the other show.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. And it starts again. Yeah. I mean, what was it? Obviously, you got the world title. What to do with Jay in the next couple of weeks or the next couple of months will be interesting. Obviously, you've got Seth in that mix now as well, because they're going to want a champion in that faction. What was it called on both brands? Unless yeah, it's messed up because of the brand thing, because obviously if Cena wins, they'll have that champion. But Seth's obviously going to be wanting to chasing the championship now as well, so it would make sense for him to go after Jay, I think. Yeah.
When's the actual draft normally after? Is it so long after WrestleMania?
It's no how do you put it? No fixed abode. They just randomly say next week is the season finale, and in the following week we're doing a draft. If you look at the times I've done drafts, it's been at every point of the year.
Yeah, it's typical that though. So I always remember when Vince used to say it's time to shake things up again.
Yes, and that was just in his lawsuits.
Well, again, that's another debate, and you can loads of show ideas.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, this show's just going completely off the rails with Haney. So if you want to blame somebody, blame Haney. I'm just saying.
Please don't blame me.
let's get obviously to the next match and stuff like that. Is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the Women's World Championship in a triple threat. This is when I think a heel turn's coming.
Yeah. It's time for Bianca to be a heel.
Do you think it'd be interesting?
Yeah, definitely. She's good at what she does, you know. Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Get Naomi involved, even get Jade involved somehow. You know. Yeah.
I mean, you did say at the start of the show that you think there's going to be a lot of interference from people who are on night one.
Yeah. Which I hope isn't obviously the case in all the matches. You don't want it to be sort of, but the WWE does have a tendency to do that, you know. So, yeah.
Definitely. But the thing is, I mean, obviously Bianca won the Elimination Chamber and stuff like that. But I feel like this is against like a third member wheel thing again.
Yeah, it was very strange because it looked like when we were coming into Elimination Chamber, she was going to be facing. What was it? Rhea Ripley, and then Rhea Ripley randomly loses the title to Io Sky, and then it's all about. It's almost like they just created a storyline to find something for Rhea to do. You know, it was. Yeah, it was bizarre. It was a bizarre sort of. I mean, nothing against Io. I think she's fantastic, but yeah, it was a bizarre sort of. Yeah, don't get it.
No, exactly. And 59% of people think Bianca's going to win and stuff like that. So it's not. I think a lot of people is going to be split looking at this.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be split between Rhea and Bianca. Everybody's discounting Io Sky. Maybe the Rio, yeah, maybe Io Sky steals a win with the other two just destroying each other and getting pissed off at each other. You know, who knows?
Do we see some like interference from, like you said, like the likes of other people?
I think if there's anybody's going to interfere, it's going to be Naomi or even Jade. You know, um, one of them, probably Naomi. That'd be the one that makes the most logical sense.
Yeah, I think one of those are going to think, if not both, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, maybe they're all on the same page now that Jade's kicked her arse, and it's a big arse.
Yeah, you really are pushing on thin ice.
What?
You never know when people's watching this, like saying, "Oh my god, he said something wrong."
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It's a lovely arse.
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know.
For fuck's sake. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, how do you see this one going?
I think Bianca.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement here, Bianca. I think every match at the minute, they're all kind of coming predictable again, but I just hope it's better than night one.
Yeah, hopefully. What was it called? Naomi's, like, joking aside, Naomi's got so much potential. You know, she's always played second fiddle, and she's really come into her own in the last couple of weeks. So it'll be great to see. Maybe she comes out and costs Bianca the match, you know, and that starts a feud there. That would be another outcome. But yeah, I mean, ever since she came back, she's been sort of stuck in that, like, waiting in the wings to get her turn, and I think now's her chance to get her turn, because she has. I mean, they talked about it. She's no, like, this ain't no. What was it? What was it? A funkadelic. You know, I think Pat McAfee said it. You know, she's came a long way since that when she was a dancer. You know, what was it? And she well deserves to be. What was it? A world champion. You know, and the promo and the look, a new look's just fantastic, isn't it? With the sort of, yeah, with the tape and the what was it, the razor blades and things like that. It's so cool. So yeah, hopefully she gets involved and what was it? It takes the story in a different direction. You know, maybe EO through that scenario, EO just walks away as champion. You know,
Who knows?
who knows?
Who knows?
Triple H.
Right. Yeah, obviously he knows and stuff like that. So we've got one match obviously covering, and then we can obviously spend a bit of time having a general discussion. Of course, the main event: Cena versus Cody, undisputed WWE Championship. Do you think the build-up for this has been a bit underwhelming?
It has. It's been when I sort of suggested Cena's heel turn months before it happened. It totally has not went the way I thought it would go. It's been very fluffy and cordial. Apart from on SmackDown where it looked like, and it was very weird as well. It was because Cody got the upper hand. Cody was the one that left Cena in the ring with, what was it called? It's usually the other way about. It's usually the baby face that's left lie flat in the ring just before the big storylines. But at the moment, Cody's got the upper hand. But it's not been what I expected it would be.
No, exactly. And somebody in the comments said everyone's predicted obviously Cena's winning it and stuff like that. Where does obviously Rock obviously play in this? Do we see Stone Cold coming up? There's a lot of answered questions for this one tonight.
I don't see Stone Cold being involved in this at all. It wouldn't make any sense. Here in this, but it ties into my conspiracy. I've got so obviously we'll talk about where I think it's going to go and what my conspiracy is.
Okay.
Because I think they've left hints at it. Something, and I spoke about in the chat, and I think it's going to go in a different direction. If it was common sense, and I was booking it the way everybody else would, I think Cena wins. The Rock gets involved, Seth gets involved. What was it? Blah blah. What was it? But what if the reason they've put in Brett and Austin's match into the Hall of Fame is because they're going to do a double turn with Cody, and he's with Seth. Because if you think back to last year,
Mm-hmm.
Who was involved in the match? So you had Roman, right?
Yeah.
What was it? You had Cena, Solo, Jay, Undertaker, Rock, Seth.
Jesus Christ! I forgot how many fucking people involved in it.
Yeah, but was it? It was. Sorry.
What are you laughing at? Share with the class.
I don't know if I can. Maybe when Deep Cancer would have said that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What was it? I'll text it to you, ready?
Okay.
Right,
I'm quite scared of you.
right. And you can tell me if I can see it.
I'm actually quite scared right now. I don't know what's going on here, by the way, people. No. You can't say that. Oh dear. Jesus Christ, Annie. Oh dear. Carry on, but not
that. No. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So what if they do a double turn and Cody is actually aligned with The Rock after all?
Okay.
And then they beat the shit out of John Cena, and then that allows him to turn heel and do his nice chase to the end of the year.
But the interesting thing, where does that go? Because a lot of people's predicted, John Cena's, win.
Yeah, that's why it's a conspiracy. I think Cena is going to win. Sadly, what was it? And it doesn't make any sense to me the way they've booked it, because that's where I thought they were going to go. What was it when all this kicked off, and even before it? What was it? When I mean, just to give you perspective, when when we spoke about it was like the New Year show.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? What was coming in the year, and and we were talking about like the rumor is that the Rock wasn't going to be there, wasn't going to be involved. don't need to be there for the storyline, blah blah blah, and he wasn't going to have a match. So obviously, I mean, we obviously spoke about like Cena get involved, and I'm doing the sort of like really sort of brutal, sort of dark Cena, and it's not really like it's not really been that. It's just he's just been on the other side. You know, he's not his promos aren't even as vicious as they were when he was a heel when he first came into the WWE either. You know, what was it? It's been very cordial and what was it? Safe. And
It's like more PG into it.
Yeah, and he's definitely going away at the end of this run. And what was it? His last pay-per-view is going to be, I think, December. I know there's rumours of a ruthless aggression pay-per-view specifically for John Cena. What was it called? What was it? But maybe we need something to put him back on track. Make him like give him the chase. Rather than Cody. What was it called? Because I don't see where a story goes. If Cena wins the title, right? You think about it. The last couple of champions have been sort of Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Cody, and they've all had like at least a year now. I know that rule can be broken, but what was it? What was it? Because of the way they've booked it, it doesn't make any sense for Cena to have the title. Because where's the chase? What's the chase going to be? Especially if you put Seth Rollins in that bracket as well. What was it called? Maybe you have a faction where they come in and they've sort of done weird things like I says they've inducted that match because it was they've talked a lot about the double cross and things like that. But then again, they really did it the night before, didn't they? The double cross the night before as well with Paul Heyman. So I don't know. I think ultimately Cena will come out of this the winner, but it just doesn't feel right. It'll feel flat to me, if Cena wins this because I don't, he wants the title to destroy it. So obviously you could go down the line of having the spinny belt and all that nonsense, but yeah, not very good.
It kind of goes back to what we said earlier on. It's just like, where does this obviously lead Gunther? We could put the same thing with obviously Cody. Where does this lead Cody?
Exactly. You take the bit off Cody, he's got no identity. But was it? And you can't do the same story again. You can't have him do the chase, But he might not. I mean, I know one of the reasons he didn't want to turn heel in the AEW was because they didn't want his little girl. He didn't want to be a bad guy for his little girl, What was it called? So it's difficult, You just don't know where it's going to go. You try to rack your brains, and I'm struggling to see where they could take Cena with it entirely because I've not portrayed it the way I thought they would. I'm not saying like, and I'm not saying my way is the be all and end all. It's an opinion, But if it was what I'm saying is I'm taking my how I would perceive it to go and then rationalize it and see how it would play out. Stuff you can predict, stuff you can predict. Like you could predict how the bloodline was going to play out. You could predict. What was it? Various things were going to happen. Because they'll leave little elements there. The one thing that hasn't been talked about, what was it in this match? If you go back to last year, the night after, what was it? The night after WrestleMania, where The Rock came out and says, "Right, I've got to go now. I've got business to take care of," and he hands Cody something, and he says, he puts it in his hand secretly and says, "What was it? He never let me down again." What was that thing he handed him?
We don't know.
We don't know. Was it just an inside thing, or is it like the Randy Orton sort of check thing with Mick Aldis? It's something that's there that you won't think about until that actually comes to fruition. So what was it? You could. I'm just trying to sort of think of how you could what was it? You could get Cena. So obviously, The Rock and Cena have never seen eye to eye. really, and then obviously they've done this weird turn, but was it to try and soften Cena, and then for Cody and Seth and that to do their turn and their business? Again, this is all hypothetical. What was it? And I'm probably with fantasy booking here, but I think Cena's going to win tonight, unfortunately.
Let's obviously turn it 180 and stuff like that, because Tiffany says some are still seeing Cody win. Let's say, like again, hypothetically, John Cena doesn't win tonight. Then what?
Yeah, you need something. You need an outcome. You either need something to cost Cena it. I mean, maybe it's Lesnar. You know, um, what was it called? I mean, who's sitting in the background? To come out. I don't think they're going to bring in like a Cobbs or a Alistair Black or that. He's not. They're not big enough for that spot. So it has to be somebody like of significance. To come in. What was it? And do something with Cody or do something with CM Punk. No, CM Punk. John Cena. You know, and John's got a limited amount of dates and a limited amount of time before he retires. So it's almost going to be an accelerated storyline. I think what's putting me off is over the last 4 or 5 years, the WWE's been really slow with their storylines. Whereas this one's got an end date regardless of what happens. What was it called? So it's going to be quick and what was it and to the point. And let's face it, by the end of this, Cena needs to be going away the good guy with a good send off. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think that's the way it needs to go.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting stuff like that. I mean, again, like I said, do you know what I mean? John Cena's got, what is it, 8 months? Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't even know what the pay-per-view is for December. Do we actually know?
Let's see. Let's look it up.
Sorry, I've got it. Is that Royal Rumble?
So you've got Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. Last year, you had King and Queen of the Ring, Money in the Bank, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series. Was it Bad Blood?
I think it might be Bad Blood, yeah.
Yeah. Because that was the Hell in a Cell match, wasn't it, or the cage match with Punk?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a rumor online that they're doing like a Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view, which would tie in with John Cena. What was it called? He could turn up in Triple A as Juan Cena. He's half Mexican brother.
Are you just taking a piss now?
Do you not remember Juan Cena?
No.
No. Oh. Right, I'm not taking the piss. Look up Juan Cena.
I don't. Why do I not trust you, Haney?
What? It's John Cena's brother.
Oh, Jesus. It is as well. I thought we were taking the piss. Okay, fair enough.
Yep. What was it? Yes. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know where it goes. I think we're fantasy booking at the moment. So I think Cena's going to win, but it'll be shenanigans galore.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of interference with this one, so we're going to be able to not be able to keep up.
Yeah.
But remains to be seen, right?
At least it'll keep us awake at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm really surprised last night that I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I know James, obviously, he said he's going to bed, so...
It was interesting.
It was definitely not as good as I thought it was going to be. So I'm just praying night 2 is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think when we go back and like sometimes when you see things as good as you think it's going to be, it's more hype than anything else. You hype yourself up, so it can never be as good as what you want it to be, But it did feel really flat.
It definitely did and stuff like that. So Tiffany says, "I'm shocked you guys were awake." It was. I think I ended up falling asleep about 4:30.
Yep.
What time did you fall asleep?
Yeah, probably. I think I seen Jay in the post conference, and then I think I seen Tiffany, and then I think I dozed off at that point. I got dozed off at Tiffany's.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. So we've got 5 more minutes, mate, stuff like that. I've said obviously the Drew and Damian Priest match is going to be the match tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. In the sense that of excitement.
Ooh. This is going to be interesting because this is one person we've not talked about, and I love this name, by the way. Is Roman Reigns going to make it tonight too?
Possibly. Could they come in? Could they come in?
We've talked about Seth. We've talked about Punk and stuff like that. We've not talked about, do you know, if Roman's going to make it?
It would make sense. What was it? Because obviously, Roman. What was it? John came out and helped cost Roman the title last year. So why wouldn't Roman come and do the same and help Cody win?
Plausible.
It's plausible.
Who knows?
I think we'll not see Roman for a little while though. At least SummerSlam again.
Yeah, remains to be seen and stuff like that. One thing I do know is I'm excited. Who do you think is going to be the MVP of the show?
The MVP of the show is going to be Eva Marie. She's going to come out. She's going to steal the show.
I hope you don't. I hope not.
Yeah, no. I think probably the MVP of the night is probably going to be Drew.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I'll go Drew.
It's definitely going to be an interesting match and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, 2 nights and stuff. We're going to have an absolute blast and stuff.
Sorry?
Hey, Tiffany's just put a comment, and I don't even know how to respond to it.
You're fired.
I don't even know what you've done. You're going to have to tell her.
Neither do I. I mean, she was the one that was in the chat talking about Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. It's like, keep your mind out the gutter, lady.
It's going to be an absolute blast. I can't wait and stuff. Are you going to be up till 4 again?
I'll try. But 2 nights might be a bit of a push, but we'll try.
This is the first time I've actually done a 2-night one and stuff like that, because obviously normally WWE's are like 1 night.
It's good though, because this is like WWE's 2 nights is like 1 night for an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stuff like that. So
yeah.
Dear. Yeah, I mean, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy WrestleMania Night 2. We're going to be back in here next Friday because we're going to LFG episode 10. I can't wait for that because we know that's on tonight as well, actually.
Is it definitely on tonight? We were talking about that.
I've not actually looked, but I do believe so. I'll have to have a look.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And like I said, we'll talk about that on the Friday. Brian Hebner's going to be on the show through the week. And then next week, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet. Any ideas?
Yeah, I'll have a think, see if I can come up with anything.
Absolutely, and stuff like that. Tiffany says you had your head in the gutter, Haney, so I think she's blaming you here.
Me? Never. Maybe here's an idea for a show, because obviously we talk about WrestleMania and things like that, but why don't we do like a top 5 or a top 10 of what was it, night after WrestleMania moments through history? So
that's on Monday, isn't it? So
yeah. So what was it? You could have like when like Lesnar came out, or when X-Pac came out, or
Bailey. No,
yeah.
Paige, sorry.
Yeah, but was it you could have, what's his name? What was it? Yeah, there's loads what was it? Great moments in wrestling the night after WrestleMania, and you know what they say? You can't teach that.
And that bombshell. Cheers for watching, guys.